Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Brothers and sisters, we're talking about a man who made the world completely change. We're talking about the most influential man to have ever walked this earth. We're talking about a man who Allah has called the prime example of everything. He is the uswatun hasana, the best example of all good conducts. He is none other than Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, our beloved Prophet. We're talking about his life in the context of his last sermon, lesson number 12. So, lesson number 12, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in his speech, last sermon that is, he said, "All those who listen to me shall pass on my words to others and those to others again. And may the last one understand my words better than those who listen to me directly." My brothers and sisters, what a statement. He's saying, and I've already said that at the beginning, it is an obligation upon all of us to pass on the message, to share the goodness of Islam, to invite others to Islam, to introduce Islam to people. Our duty is not to convert people. I keep on repeating myself. Our duty is to invite. Our duty is to share. Our duty is to present, not to convert people. If people want to embrace Islam out of their own choice, they're welcome to. That's what Allah says in the Quran. So, as our duty is to share the goodness of Islam, as it's our duty to share the beauty of Islam with other people, as it's our duty to present Islam, how best can we do this? Allah says in the Quran, in responding to this particular question, He is saying, "Ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikmati wal maw'izati al hasana." He says in the Quran, and invite people, introduce Islam to people, share the goodness of Islam with people, with wisdom and best conduct, best examples. When Allah talks about wisdom, He talks about wisdom in the context of our brain, in the context of our capacity to decide what is right and what is wrong. My brothers and sisters, when people lack wisdom and they start talking about Islam, you can see through them, you can feel what they're saying makes no sense. Our obligation is to share, but with wisdom. Our obligation is to share through our own good practices. So the advice of Rasulullah here is, live Islam in your life every day. That is the best form of da'wah, invitation. If you live Islam every day, more people will see the true examples of Islam in your life. That's why he was uswatun hasana, the best of examples when it comes to everything that is good. وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. Allah says in the Quran, and in you, Muhammad, surely there is standard hallmark of every supreme character and conduct. Prophet ﷺ became the hallmark of that which is good. And if we're going to follow him and follow his words and share his words, we should do it through our conduct. Then he says in the same one, "May the one who come later understand the one who has heard from me directly." Well, he is literally saying, we will understand Islam better than the companions. Scholars have explained this very beautifully. They said, yes, of course, it is possible. Many of the realities of science that we see today, what we see in our environment, the planets, with the advent of satellites and imageries and photography and radiography and ultrasound, we can see and hear beyond our own realm. The companions couldn't have imagined it. They couldn't have imagined the images of a baby in the mother's womb. Today we can. Using the 3D scanners, you can actually take pictures of babies in the mother's womb. This is what he meant. May the one who comes later understand Islam better than the one who has heard from me directly. Prophet ﷺ predicted that. So in other words, the onus is on you and I to understand Islam better. Remember, understanding and learning forms the most important foundation of the prophetic message. If you and I was to learn from the last sermon that the beloved Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave, it will be all about learning and understanding and putting it into practice. So, if I was to give you a quick summary of what I've talked about so far, learn about Islam, understand Islam, practice Islam, share Islam with other people. If you do all four, you're successful. Again, learn, understand, practice, and share. My brothers and sisters, may Allah enable you and I and all of us to actually understand this practice of Prophet ﷺ. May Allah give us the strength to be able to understand this amazing, amazing deen properly and better. If we don't understand it, we won't be able to practice it. And if we don't have any knowledge, we won't be able to understand the faith itself. That's why the Prophet of Allah ﷺ said, the prayer of the person who is knowledgeable is better than the sleep of a knowledgeable person is better than the entire night's worship of an ignorant person. Knowledge is so important in Islam. Prophet ﷺ made that again and again very clear for all of us, that we should do everything possible to understand. That was his last sermon, giving the world a basis on which, giving his followers a basis on which they can build their life of a Muslim society. So, lesson number 12. Learn Islam, practice Islam, learn Islam, understand Islam, learn Islam, understand Islam, practice Islam, share Islam. That's the bottom line, isn't it? Inshallah, I hope and I pray we're able to do all that and more. And I hope and I pray that we're able to understand the life of the Prophet even better and love him more every day. Thank you very much for listening. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.